Okay, I just want to show you what I've got so far. This is my fuel line that's going to go to my stove. And I need to find 2 smaller rubber bands. This is an awful big one down here, but this is my air vent now traveling up above the fuel. I haven't sealed this down here yet, but I was just testing this right here to see if it would hold right there, and it seems like it does exactly what I think it's going to do. It's going to let air out in from the top up here. Now, I still need to seal this, and I've got another thing that I want to do. Because this stove has to be so level with the device that's actually using it, I need to create something to hold it. So, not sure this is going to work because it would have to be very balanced to do so. And I'm not sure that this can hold all the weight that a bottle will have in it. But now I want to, let's see if I got this in the film. Now I want to build this on here. That may be too much weight for that though. I haven't decided if that's going to work or not. The reason I want to do this is because now I can spin this, and I can't do it while this is on here, but I broke it apart in the wrong spot. So this is a couple extenders. I want to be able to take this and spin it up and down. Just going to bring it up here on these threads to put it where I want to put it at, so I can raise or lower based on where I want it. And it's just a matter of popping off the actual bongo top, MOAB in this case, on threading a couple things. And this stove is actually my favorite home stove. It's not a great, I don't know if you could ever use a chicken feeder while you're camping, but you could raise this up, lower it down, and the bottom bolt there is or the bolt in the middle there is a lock bolt to keep it where you put it at. Now, obviously what I mentioned a second ago is that this could cause it to be, all the weight's on this, it tips it over. So I've got to figure that out. And I'm working on that. This is a test part right now, and I realize I drilled a hole in the base of my bongo here, but anything can be patched with something, If I don't like it and I want to go back, I can just patch that with a little JB weld or something. Anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I'll get back with you guys once I get another step going. Okay, in order for me to screw a pipe into the side of this, I need to tap that. So I've got a 8/32 tap that I'm going to put in here. This is an 8/32, so I'm going to go ahead and drill this out. And again, taking a chance on the whole thing here. The drill hole. And don't mind me for a second. I just need to see what how close I came to the inside there real quick. Oh, okay, enough room for threads. Good. A little nervous about how it's coming on the inside there, but right where I want it. Drop my tap in there and run this down. And I hate doing these by hand. I don't know if somebody uses the hand tool to do these ever or not, but I can't bring myself to use that. Still recording? Good. Okay. Here it goes. Not much to that. You just generally don't want to go past the point where you're down inside there. So now, with that metal shavings everywhere, that will now lock onto there, and now I can hold this in position, with the rod. How that'll work, I don't know, because it may be a little too heavy for the whole thing. We're going to try it now. Be right back once I get it all set up. Alright, so what I've done here is I've taken the bottle and I've added another inlet for air to come back in. This is Timmy's outlet bottle going over here. I set up this par here to hold this at the height that I threaded up and down to. I think I have it at a good height right now. The fuel seems to be standing right at the top of this. Haven't lit it yet. I'm going to light it right now and see if when the fuel starts to boil, if it then bleeds back out. I've sealed this with a silicone type sealant, although I don't think there'll be any heat over here, so I should be fine. I was about, hard to point with that, I was about this full when I turned it upside down. And it's down to there. It's a little less than an ounce. Sorry, just changing some doors. So now I'm going to try and light it and see if she boils back in a funny manner. Okay. Probably can't see that. I'm going to try turning off this backlight. That was just for me to see the fuel. Turn that off. That might help with the flame a little bit. See, I'm going to turn off my other light too. And just leave the one main light. It's a pretty good flame. I don't feel like we're boiling over anywhere. I do have it clamped down. This is the one thing I haven't been able to find a workaround yet, because this is heavier over here. Should have marked where that was at so I could see how fast it burns fuel. What do I have that I could mark that with? It's going to go down at all. Don't think I really feel like putting a dot on my bottle, but a little one won't hurt. One little dot. I can always put that off there if I need to. With a little alcohol, I'll probably take it right off. It's definitely staying full. I mean, it is glistening wet. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. But it is definitely staying full at the temperature, the level I have it at. And I don't know if anything's boiling back. Nothing's coming up my hose. I might be a little off level here, I can't tell, but I don't know if that would really matter. Let's see if there's any heat transferring through this. No, it's still ice cold. Any heat coming across here? No. But it looks like it's burning well. I don't really have anything to put on there and test it with. I don't want to put a dry pot on there and burn, because I'm afraid the flame's going to subside, as I'm thinking of. Do I have any water down here to pour in there? I do have a little water over here. Let me go ahead and pour some water in a frying pan. I hate doing frying pans without anything in them, because you just end up ruining the pan if you cook them hot. So give me a second here. I'm going to put some water in a frying pan. Set that on there just to see if the flames start to come up the side at all and cause a problem. It doesn't look like they're going to. Let me look at my little dry. So air is definitely coming out. I'm seeing little bubbles of air every once in a while in here. So that's a good sign. As far as level goes, these nipples are both at the same level, and both nipples are just below the lip of this, but above this nipple. So I know it's not much room to play with, and getting it just right would be awful hard, but because this is so adjustable by spinning it around, on that thread up and down in the back. Now what I will do, when I'm done here, because this air hose is above the bottle, I can fill this bottle all the way up and never have to worry about it bleeding back out because the hose is above it. When you flip it over, you have to pinch that hose and then release it really quick, or else it does flood over, I would imagine. I haven't tried that yet. I was only right around here when I first started out. It's burning nicely. I don't see any leakage on my silicone that I did here. I was worried that might leak. I didn't know how that would, the glue that I used, I didn't know how it would handle the alcohol. Because alcohol will actually strip the paint off of, or the varnish off of some stuff. So I'm just going to let this run here. I'm down about 1/8 of an inch from my fuel mark that we talked about earlier. So it is coming down. It is getting air bubbles. One. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. So you can see the time frame it's taking to put air bubbles in there. Every time I was saying that, a bubble was coming up. Bubble. 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 Yeah, so it's pretty repetitive. Boiling already on that little bit of water that I had in there, not much. Pretty neat setup. I like it. Now, this would be a problem. I don't know how I could fix this where I wouldn't have to clamp it. I think if I took that off, the whole thing would tip over because you got your bottle full of fluid. I haven't even tried an 8-ounce bottle yet. This is literally a 4-ounce bottle. I made this hose so that it could potentially work on the 8-ounce bottle as well. It's got a lot of bend in it here. But I made it a little longer so that I could put it on an 8-ounce bottle. Now, 8-ounce bottle of fuel on the side of this thing would definitely tip it over. Way too light. Now, what if I put one on each side? No, that's crazy. Okay, that's pretty awesome. I like the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and take the camera off the stand here, walk around and show you the whole side. Be right back. Sorry, I put that nut on there, and that lets me tighten that right there so that this thing's always straight up and down. Otherwise, whenever you just came to the end of the thread, it would be that's where it stopped at. But with that nut there, I can adjust it. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, this camera just doesn't do what my other camera does. But you can see, not overflowing anywhere. Steady pace. Let's look at that dot I put on there earlier and see how far it's gotten. Well, it's going pretty far from that little dot I put on there. Definitely using that fuel up. But this will be one way to let this thing go. Whenever I'm cooking with this stove, after about, because this is the MOAB on here, not the bongo, the MOAB on here right now. Whenever I cook with this stove, I run out of fuel. 7 minutes in with the MOAB, 12 minutes with the bongo, so this is a definite plus. Lets me cook for a much longer period of time. I know when you're baking, you gotta cook for 23 minutes to bake a cupcake or something, so this is a big plus. Alright, I just wanted to get a shot with the 8-ounce bottle really quick here. Show you that's working. And I probably can't show you this because there's not enough light over here, but I took the cap from the top of the bottle and I placed that. Take the cap off the bottle and place that underneath this. And it's not exactly, it's like a hair off, but little 2 pieces of cardboard got it there. So it does balance without the bracket on anymore.